Hey garden friends, welcome back to Not Quite Homesteading, ESK Garden. Today I'm in the garden and I'm going to be pruning my blueberry tree as well as uncovering my citrus trees from this hard frost that we had for the last 2 days. So I want to bring you guys along for that. Thank you for stopping by another video. If you are new and this is your first time here, if you're a gardening enthusiast, if you are just someone that loves a good gardening journey, or if you're a new gardener yourself looking for community support, definitely join our family. Comment down below, let's engage and have some fun around this gardening thing. So I want to go ahead and take my plants out of this little setup that I have, and I'll show you guys what I did. I'm starting to see like drops from like the fruits and things. Like if you can see, like the plant is sweating under here. So basically all I did was cover it with like a garbage bag, and then I broke out my little trusty moving blankets to cover the roots over. I actually insulated them with a plastic bag too. So I'm sure my plant is dying to get out of here because now we're just around like 60 degrees, and of course it's super humid. Humidity is like 88%, so I'm not trying to lose my fruit here either. But I had to protect the plants from the frost, but I also had to protect it from the wind. So of course I'm gonna drop a lot of fruit, it seems, but that's okay. Not really worried about that. I'd rather the plant be protected and lose a few fruit than, you know, not and lose the whole tree. So I went ahead and just removed the pins, or rather the little, I don't know what those things are called, clips that I had around the tree, and then I'm just removing the blanket. And she's back. So I think we're in the clear now with the cold and like the frost. I'm about, I want to say, a week or so out from our last frost date. Now the funny thing is, I was looking at something and this wasn't on the almanac, it was something else, and they were like, my estimated last frost date is March 15th, and then on the almanac it says March 25th. So I guess I'm somewhere in that range, but based on our like weather forecast going forward, I think we're pretty much in the clear. Like we are due to have spring temperatures pretty much going forward. There are going to be a few nights like in the 40s, but nothing below like 45, I believe, and our daytime temps are definitely going to be like spring temps. So I think we're okay there. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing for the lemon tree, take that apart, and then we're going to go ahead and head over and prune this blueberry tree that is not doing a thing. I have decided that I am going to order another blueberry tree, so I'll probably do that in like the next couple of weeks. But you know, this plant that I have, one of them, it's like so far ahead of the other one. I just highly doubt that, you know, even if this one came alive, they would benefit one another. So I definitely have to get another tree in there. I didn't want 3 blueberry plants. I didn't feel a need for it, but you know, I guess that's where we're going to be. And hopefully this other one wakes up. I'm kind of disappointed in it. You know, again, like I said, from the video where I showed you guys that about like when I purchased them, you know, the woman, while she was lovely in terms of like just her character, customer service, it seemed like she was not very knowledgeable about the plants at all. And someone should have been able to tell me that there was something wrong with this plant, or it needed to be pruned or something like that. You know, I'm new to this, and the plant looked okay. It kind of looked the same way the rest of them looked, but kind of looking at it now, I think there are some things some signs that I probably could have tuned into a little bit to recognize that this plant wasn't as healthy as the other one that I picked up. So now that we got our lemon trees, now that we got our citrus trees together, I'm gonna go ahead and prune this. So I don't know, I'm gonna try to zoom in as best as I can. If I zoom in too much, it's gonna be an awkward angle. So I'm going to try to remove as much of this dead wood as possible. And it is something that I think you want to be careful with, because blueberries, if I'm not mistaken, they do grow on their flower canes, which are their second year canes. So I don't want to cut off too much of that, but we definitely have to do something to trigger some growth within this plant. And I think pruning it might be the best way. It's clear to me that, you know, some of these canes are alive because they're not like brown and dead like this. Like this is seemingly completely dead. But I think if I cut that off, it will trigger these like newer canes to actually go ahead and start producing like some fruit. So there are also some dead canes on some of this like newer fruit that I want to go ahead and cut off, and I think that's what I'm going to do. So kind of looking at this here, this right here doesn't need to be here. And then even when I made that cut, like the inside of the plant is green, so that lets me know that there is some life in the plant. I just don't know when it's going to come to blossom. It's definitely alive in there, so I don't know. Maybe it's just a late bloomer, y'all, but I'm still gonna prune it. So I'm cutting off anything that just looks completely dead, and even on some of like the newer kind of like stems, I might cut off like right above a bud or so, just to kind of stimulate some growth. That should awaken the plant just a tiny bit. You see, that one looks pretty dead, so I think I'm going to cut that off completely. Yes, I definitely am seeing like quite a bit of green on here, so I'm not going to give up hope on this plant just yet, but I still also see some things that are like in this particular plant, like stem, it's not green fully through. There's a little bit of like I don't know if that's rust or what may have you, but I'm gonna look that up and see what that is. If you've had that kind of experience, like let me know how your tree performed with that. This is dead completely. I think that's all I'm gonna do for now. So basically all I did was kind of go above any blossom, first of all, I cut on any cane that looked like it was completely done. On the second year canes, I went ahead and cut off any ends that looked completely dead, and then I cut right above any bloom that looked like it could potentially be viable. So a lot of these, like where I cut, there's definitely some green, which kind of gives what kind of insinuates that there is some life to the plant. I just don't know how it's going to grow. But let's hope that the cutting does, help stimulate some of the growth in the plant. and we can get it looking like this one pretty soon. But I hope you guys enjoyed kind of watching along. If you have any tips on blueberry plants, you know, pruning, how to kind of combat like issues like this, I would definitely love to hear them in the comments. And I appreciate you guys for spending some time with me in the garden today. Let's keep learning, sowing, and growing together, friends. Until our next garden update. Bye.